This is Patrick with Wolverine Inspections. Thank you for watching this training video. We hope it's educational, and this video will help you take the proper pictures and fill out paperwork for Indonesia container inspections. Wolverine Inspections is a third-party inspection company. We perform a variety of inspections for our clients. Our quality policy states that we will ensure client satisfaction by providing high-quality inspection services that meet our clients' requirements. Management is committed to continually improving the quality management system to ensure client satisfaction while meeting statutory and regulatory requirements. In short, we care about pleasing our clients. That's why we're in business. And this is accomplished in large part by having quality field workers who represent us professionally on site. This slide shows the basic inspection requirements for inspectors. The figure on the left shows you how an inspector should look while they're on site. Notice the hard hat. Many of our inspectors do not have a hard hat or a safety vest, but all of the sites where we work can provide a hard hat or a safety vest during the inspection. We need to be wearing a hard hat and vest. During the inspection, this is a requirement from our client. Also, steel-toed boots are required. We'll need to have you to wear steel-toed boots during the inspection. The attire requirements are simple. We need to wear a pair of long pants. We do not allow shorts at our sites. None of our sites allow our inspectors to show up wearing shorts. You'll need to wear a pair of long pants during the inspection. And the pants need not to have any holes in them. If your pants have holes, they're disqualified to use during an inspection. You need to go looking like an inspector, and your pants need to have no holes in them, whether they're jeans or a khaki or some kind of a work slack. It cannot be yoga pants, it cannot be capris, and of course we can't wear shorts. Also, shirts must have sleeves. It can be a short sleeve or it can be a long sleeve, but you can't show up wearing a spaghetti strap shirt or a tank top. Secondly, what you'll need is a clipboard. Clipboards will help you as you perform your inspection requirements while you're on site. Clipboards can be purchased at Dollar General for $1, and if you're going to be working for us, you need to have a clipboard. All of our inspections require a smartphone. Smartphones are required to take our photos. We require our inspectors to upload their photos to Dropbox. This requires a smartphone. You will also need to bring your charger. If you're doing a lengthy inspection, you will run out of power on your phone if you do not bring a charger. So please always bring your cell phone and your charger. As an inspector, every time you are assigned an inspection from Wolverine Inspections, you will get 2 emails from us. Number 1, you will get an inspection instructions email. This email will tell you the ID number that we're working on, the city and state, and the date and time of the inspection. That will be in the subject line. This is the subject line of the email that will come through. In the body of the email, it gives all the inspection instructions that we need you to be mindful of during the inspection. In the body of the email, it will tell you what date and time the inspection is set up for. It will give you the inspection location. It'll give you the name and the address of the place where we're working and several other details. The second email that you will receive is a Dropbox invite. You will be invited to join a shared Dropbox folder that is tied to this ID number for every single inspection that you are assigned to from Wolverine Inspections. This slide is dealing with the Dropbox invitation that you will receive from Wolverine Inspections office staff. This email shows you the way that it will look in your inbox. It will say Wolverine Inspections shared whatever ID number you were assigned to along with the city and state with you. Once you open up that email, this email here will open up. And when it says go to folder, our inspectors need to press go to folder, which will take you directly to Dropbox. And that will basically add this shared folder with the name to your Dropbox and give you access to it. After the inspector presses go to folder, it will open up this folder from Dropbox. And this is an example of what it will look like on the inside of this folder. There are now 8 container folders that are visible on this email. And basically when we get on site, the first container that we load will be uploaded. The photos for that container will be uploaded into container 1. When the inspector clicks on container number 1, it will take you to this screen where it says this folder is empty. The reason the folder is empty is because we haven't placed any photos in it yet. In order to place photos into this folder, we need to upload files from either our computer or from our smartphones. These 3 screenshots show how that we upload photos from our smartphones. When we click on container number 1 and it says this container is empty, there will be a plus sign at the bottom right of an Android phone, or if you're using an Apple phone, you'll see a plus sign over Create. When you press Create or the plus sign, it will take you to this pop-up window, and you need to select Upload Photos or Videos. When you tap on that selection, it will bring up this particular gallery from your phone. It will pull up all the pictures that you've recently taken on your phone. You will then, like this slide shows, select all the photos that you want to upload to that folder. And once you select them by using your finger to highlight these boxes, you will press Upload on your phone, and it will drag all of those pictures into Dropbox. This is the photo requirements page that is found on every single instructional email. When you get inspection instructions from Wolverine, right above our signature line, you will find this selection of pictures that we require for the loading of every single container that we inspect. This gamut of photographs must be taken. Now, if you notice, pictures number 3, 5, 9, and 13 are all highlighted in red. These pictures are where the inspector needs to be holding the placard in front of the product, or in front of the empty container, or in front of the half load, or the right door closed during the inspection. We're about to illustrate that on this instructional video. This slide shows the pre-loading photos, or the bale inspection photos, that we need to take for every single container. So first we see these loose material photos. This is old corrugated cardboard in these pictures. These are boxes which are clean, they're dry, they don't have any impurities in them, and we need to take pictures of loose material for every container. Normally we put at least 4 pictures of loose material in each container folder. This right here is a placard. This placard identifies what order we are inspecting for our Indonesian client. It's tied to an ID number. There's a VO number on each of the placards, and there's also an exporter's reference number on this. We simply hold up our clipboard with the placard with the products in the background, and we take a picture. We can see here the bale inspection. These materials are coming directly out of the baler. They take these loose materials in the upper photos, they put it through a baler, they compress the product, and they produce a bale of material. These bales weigh about 1,500 pounds. And so this material has been purchased by our overseas client. We will take pictures of those. Here we have a picture of the inspector holding the placard in front of the loose material. We need one of those pictures per date of inspection, and this is a required photo. These are pictures of the container loading process. It starts with the empty container. Once the container is backed into the dock, the inspector will simply take a picture of the empty container. One of the things we're looking for in the container is cleanliness. We look at the floor. We look at the sidewall to make sure that there's no holes in the container. If you see protruding light coming through the sidewall of the container and there's a hole, that hole will need to be welded or patched. We always recommend that our inspectors take a photo of any damage to the container, run it by your coordinator, and your coordinator will tell you how you are to proceed, whether we can tape that hole or it will need to be welded by the site. So our inspectors are required to take a picture of the empty container. We also have to get pictures of the inner container number. On the right side wall of most containers, you will find this gamut of letters and numbers. All shipping containers are noted by 4 letters and 7 numbers. If you ever write down on your paperwork less than 4 letters or less than 7 numbers, something is wrong. All container numbers that are going overseas have 4 letters, 7 numbers. Here the inspector in the third picture is holding the placard in front of the empty container. Nothing's been loaded yet. The placard is being held. You can read all the numbers and the inspectors in the photo. The fourth picture here shows the inspector holding the placard in front of the half load. Now if you notice, this inspector is wearing steel-toed boots. they're wearing a safety vest, they're wearing a hard hat, and they're holding the placard. They also have a shirt with sleeves on it, so this inspector is properly attired during this inspection. We need to see all of our inspectors complying with this during every single inspection. This picture here shows the half load without the inspector appearing in it. This is about halfway loaded. The inspector took a picture. If you also notice, they're angled a little bit to the left-hand side, so you can, if we ever zoomed in, we could actually see the container number over here on the right wall. That's a very good half-load picture. Here is the fully loaded container. Our inspectors are required to mark 2 bales at the end of each container to say that they were inspected. This inspector did a perfect job at marking those 2 bales with these X's with the Cotecna tape. If you do not have Cotecna tape, we have labels that you can print out and tape to those bales. But that's a great picture of the fully loaded container. You can see the container has been pulled forward from the dock. Now both doors are open and the picture was taken. This next picture is a very important picture. This picture shows the right side door closed and the left side door open. We need this picture for every inspected container. Many times a truck driver tries to shut this left side door first, and the inspector simply needs to tell the truck driver, we need to shut the right side door and leave the left side door open for a required inspection photograph. The reason this photo is required is so our client can see the fully loaded container and that they could see these numbers at the top of the right side door. Notice 4 letters, 7 numbers is on the top of the right side door. This number right here, 45G1, is noting that the container is a 40-foot container. We can also see some other information on the back of this door which is pertinent to the inspection. So we need to see this picture for every single inspection that we do on a container that's going to Indonesia. We must have the right side door closed and the left door open. This is a very important portion of this instructional video. We are going to be giving instructions as to how to place the seal on the back of the container, but we want to stress the importance of having this Cotecna seal during the inspection. Without the Cotecna seal, we cannot perform any inspections per our Indonesian client. We are not allowed to place site seals on the back of a container. If there are no seals on site that say Cotecna on them, if you are not carrying them with you to the inspection, we cannot perform the inspection. We cannot stress this enough. We need our inspectors to pay attention to this. Inspectors need to make sure that there are seals on the site and available prior to the inspection. When you get to a site, if you're not holding seals with you, you need to report to the scale house, talk to the yard foreman, and make sure that our seals were delivered to them. Also, you must call your coordinator if seals are not with you or on the site. If you get to the site and you find that there are no seals, you need to immediately call your coordinator because we are not allowed to do any inspection on any container without the Cotecna seal. Also, I want to stress the importance that it is our responsibility as the inspector to place this seal on the back of the truck. We do have some people who are not tall enough to reach some of the clasps where we will put the seal, and we will need a truck driver to help us or somebody at the yard. But it's our responsibility that this seal is affixed properly on the back of the container. You must obtain a clear close-up photo of this Cotecna seal after it has been affixed onto the rear of the container. Some of our inspectors in the past have taken a picture of the seal on the paperwork before it has been affixed to the container. This is a decent photo, but it's not a required photo. The required photo is for this seal to be photographed after it is snapped in place, just as you see in this picture. If you notice in the picture, this seal is properly installed. The top number and the bottom number are visible and readable. Sometimes people are installing the top of the seal with the numbers facing the truck. Please do not do that. Put the numbers facing out. This is a tamper-proof seal. This means if you snap it together, it doesn't come apart except with a bolt cutter. So do not play with the seal prior to sealing the container. Do not seal a container before it has been weighed. If they get done loading at the dock and they want you to seal the container before it goes to the weigh station, do not seal that container. They need to make sure that the container has not been overloaded or is overweight. If you put the seal on and the container's overweight, they're going to have to cut the seal and ruin the seal, and we will not be able to perform the inspection if we're short a seal. So please follow these instructions when you're affixing a seal to the container. Again, no inspection can be performed without a Cotecna seal. These are very important photos that we need to take when we're closing the container. Normally the truck driver will close the container, but again, here's a picture of the inspector holding the placard in front of the right side door closed and left door open. That's the picture that is required. Again, we're looking for these numbers up here to be in the picture along with the inspector, along with the right door closed, left door open. Again, here's a proper photo of a seal after it has been affixed to the container. This is a clear close-up photo of the seal. Please put your camera close enough to the seal to where we can read all the numbers. I ask our inspectors to please review your pictures before you move on with the inspection. Most of our inspectors have social media accounts and they would never post a blurry picture to their Facebook or their Instagram page. Please do not return blurry pictures for our inspections. They are worthless photos. Our client cannot read them. We can't verify any information. Please be professional and take the kind of pictures we need. Everybody with a smartphone has the ability to take a clear photo where we can read these numbers. And then after you affix this seal, you take 2 steps back and you take a picture of the rear of the sealed container. This seal was affixed right here. We cannot tell what the number is at that, but we can see that the seal was affixed on the container, and we can see what the container number was. This is a required picture for our client. We will now go to the document section of our inspections. Our inspections are worthless if we don't get our documents turned in, or if we're not performing or we're not taking the right documents to our inspection. This document right here is called a placard. This placard will be assigned. This placard will be attached to your document package that you get in the inspection instructions email. Again, it has the ID number, the VO number, and the exporter's reference number on that document. Our inspectors have to hold that document in front of the pile of material that's going to be loaded. Our inspectors have to take a selfie of themselves holding this placard in front of the container at different junctures and in front of the material that's being loaded. So every document package will have this placard in it. It's a very important document that you will use for every inspection. We need to pay very close attention to these 2 documents because they have to be filled out every single day we go to an inspection. If you are performing a multiple day inspection, you are going to start a fresh set of documents every day. And these documents that appear on your screen have to be filled out in this fashion every single day that we go to an inspection. On the left, we see a physical inspection report. This is called an office copy. This is the master sheet for the inspection. We have highlighted every area of this form that you need to be concerned with. Our office staff pre-fills this document to try to make sure that no one makes any mistakes. But these highlighted areas have to be filled out by our field staff every single time we go to an inspection. There's a rectangle right here. The first highlighted area that you see is the inspection result. If you went to an inspection and everything worked out well, we're going to put satisfactory. If we had to reject the inspection because the material was no good, we'll put rejected. But for the most part, this is going to say satisfactory. Please do not leave this rectangle blank. It needs to have satisfactory on it. Next highlighted section we find is the dates. This is very simple. Every one of our inspectors is going to get paid based on the date that they worked. We are seeing scores of inspectors return their documents back to us without dates on them. This is unacceptable. You need to write the date of the inspection down when you first get there. This is a very simple request. You just write down what date and you write down the report date. They should always be the same. You should be reporting the same day as the inspection date. The inspection is valid for 1 month from the date of inspection. This inspection was performed on September 5th, so we put down October 5th for the inspection valid until. The next section shows another simple section that is being avoided by some inspectors. The inspector needs to sign on the left and the site rep needs to sign on the right. It's very simple. At the end of the day, you go to the front desk and you get signatures on your documents before you leave for the day. The net weight is going to be filled in here. I'm going to discuss this on a different slide. We will talk about that in a moment. But down here is the container number, percentage filling, the size of the container, and the Cotecna seal number. The container number needs to be filled out, 4 letters and 7 numbers for every container. I hand wrote here number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. This sheet gives you the ability to record the first 4 containers that are inspected on that particular day of inspection. We do not need just one container listed on this sheet. If you did 4 containers, all 4 containers should be listed in these sections. And all of these sections need to be filled out. The container number is a simple section. You just write down the 4 letters and 7 numbers of the container. 20 or 40 means what size was the container. Most of our inspections are on 40-foot containers, so you would write 40 foot all the way down if you inspected 4 containers. Percentage filling means how much did they fill up the container. Most of our containers will be filled up 100%. Please put 100% all the way down if you inspect 4 containers. Here's the Cotecna seal number. Please write the letter C along with all the numbers that are on that particular seal for that section. Do not leave the letter C out. Our client will come back to us and ask us to correct it. We want you to write down the entire seal number that you see on that seal in these sections. Okay, that finishes this section. Over here to the left is a section that is often being left blank by our inspectors. This is where we will report the number of bales that went into the container. This will be found on the scale ticket that we are required to get at the end of the loading. We'll discuss that in a later slide, but you need to write down the total number of bales loaded during the inspection in this section. If you loaded 10 containers and each one of the containers had 33 bales, it would be 330 in this section. This is a combined bale count for the entire day, as this is the master sheet. Also at the bottom right, there's another highlighted section that is often being left blank by our inspectors. We need to know what time you got there, we need to know what time you left, and we need to know the total number of time that you spent on this particular inspection. That needs to be filled out every single time you go to a date of inspection. Please do not leave any of these highlighted areas blank. This is the office copy. Over here on the right, we see a physical inspection report, exporter copy. Looks very similar to the office copy, but it is different. There's a disclaimer down here at the bottom. This differentiates between the office copy and the exporter copy. It looks very similar. We'll fill out the inspection result just like we did on the office copy. We'll fill out the dates just like we did on the office copy. We'll get signatures and we'll fill out the container number section in its entirety, and we will also put the weight on the exporter copy. We need both the office copy and the exporter copy back for every single inspection. When our inspectors turn in an office copy and not an exporter copy, we are being asked to produce one so that we can send that directly to the exporter. We are not to leave these documents on site anymore. Many of the sites are losing this document. The exporter wants us to email it to them. So please return both of these copies back to our office when you complete an inspection and fill out in entirety all the highlighted areas. On the left, we find the continuation sheet. This is a carryover page from the physical inspection report. You might remember that the physical inspection report only has spaces for 4 containers. So the continuation sheet is basically a continuation sheet of the physical inspection report. If you load 8 containers, you're going to load containers 5 through 8 here, and the seals for those containers there. It will all be handwritten, but you have to fill in all of the highlighted areas. We write the date, we write the inspector's name, we have a signature down here at the bottom and another date here. Make sure you fill this form out in its entirety for each inspection. Do not use a continuation sheet for carrying over day 1 and day 2. Every day we do different inspection forms. It all starts over again on the following day. All right, here is on the right hand side is a very important document. This is a container inspection report. This report is filled out one per container. If you load 20 containers in a day, we're going to have 20 of these sheets. And we need the highlighted areas filled out for every one of these forms. Our inspectors have been really lacking in filling out their times or the dates. The container number, the seal number goes here. These times are important for us to record. You're supposed to record what time that you got there, what time the container got there if you know it. If you don't know it, you can leave that blank. But every time we do a container inspection, we need to look at the container and make sure it has no holes, that the container is in good shape. And you have to write down the time you walked inside that container and gave it a once over, and you know what, when you inspected it. When the loading started is when they put the first bale on the container. When the loading completes is when they put the final bale on the container, and we're marking those bales. Look at your watch or your smartphone and write down the time that it was completed. When you seal a container, same thing. You look at your watch, you look at your smartphone, and you put down the time. Down here at the bottom, we need to put a bale count on all of our container inspection reports for that particular container. If you do 10 containers in a day, we ought to see bale counts on all 10 of these. That way, when we add all of them up, we need to confirm that we have added the correct amount of bales, and that's going to go on the physical inspection report, the combined amount. Down here, we have a signature section. The signature section has the inspector's signature, and it has the site rep signature. We need to fill these forms out in their entirety for every inspection. This next section of the instructional video will explain basically a new requirement. We're always required to get a bill of lading or a scale ticket for inspections, but I need our field staff to begin filling out the net weight that was loaded on these containers on every inspection form. Here on the left, we have a straight bill of lading. This tells us how much weight was loaded in the container, and it gives it to you right here. This is the net weight. This is what our client is paying for, this net weight of this material. It also here gives us the bale count. It says 33 bales. And so we mark 33 bales right here on this form. And this net weight is going to be recorded right here on the physical inspection report. If you load 10 containers, you get your calculator out on your smartphone, you add the numbers up to all of the containers, and you put the combined weight in this section right here for each date of inspection. Also, if you're doing a large inspection, say you're doing more than one container, we would like our inspectors to obtain a container list from the site that they loaded on that particular day. This will help our processing team understand how many containers were loaded and make sure all the information matches up when we're processing your inspection when you turn it in. Timeliness and professionalism. This should define our inspectors for Wolverine inspections. Please plan to be on time for inspections. You need to think about how long it's going to take you to get through traffic to arrive on time. Please respect the fact that these exporters schedule truck drivers to get to the port. They often have to get up very early to deliver these containers to the site. Wolverine does not schedule those truck drivers. The exporter does. And they will not schedule the truck driver until our office staff confirms that our field staff will be there to take pictures for the loading. They cannot load these containers on site unless we are there. And when you arrive late, it produces a domino effect. Everyone panics. The exporter panics, the site panics, the truck drivers are angry. Please plan to be on time for your inspections. This is a vital part of our inspection, and it's also a huge part of being a professional. You have to be responsible to get to the site on time. If you are going to be late, please call our office staff. Please do not call us an hour after the inspection saying, hey, I'm going to be late. Call us before the inspection. If you oversleep, I understand, things happen. Please let us know as soon as you humanly can, so that our office staff knows that we at least have somebody on their way to the site. Otherwise, we're going to be scrambling to find another inspector to do the inspection, especially if we have trucks on site. All inspectors need to represent us professionally. We've listed a couple of things here. Please have a good attitude when you go to sites. Please smile. Please, represent us in a positive fashion. Our company gets more work because our field workers do such a good job of having a good attitude. Your appearance makes a difference. Please don't show up, with dirty clothing, smelly clothing, just having rolled out of the bed. Make sure that your appearance is professional. Use professional language on site. Your behavior matters on site. Do not act inappropriately on site. Represent us professionally, and you'll find that you'll get more work, and so will our company. We have a no smoking policy during inspections. If you are a smoker and they're taking a break, you need to make sure that you're smoking in a designated area. We prefer that our inspectors not smoke when they're on sites, but if you do, you need to make sure that you're smoking in a designated area. People on these sites are very sensitive because these are all no smoking sites because they've had fires that have destroyed their products. Please obey all site rules while you're on site. This is a part of us being professional. Timeliness and professionalism is the name of the game for our field staff. Please represent us professionally and show the utmost respect when you are on site. Let's review what we've learned during this instructional video. First of all, when you're assigned an inspection, you will receive 2 emails. You'll receive the inspection instructions and the Dropbox invitation. If you have seals with you, you'll need to take those seals with you to the site for the inspection. And if you don't have seals with you, when you get on site, you will need to confirm that they have Cotecna seals on site. And if they don't, you will need to talk to your coordinator immediately to tell them that you don't have a Cotecna seal. Remember, no container inspection can be performed without a Cotecna seal. This is a deal breaker. We need to know immediately if there's a problem with the issues of seals when you arrive on site. Your paperwork needs to be filled out progressively through the day. Please do not wait till the end of the day to fill out your documents. Do that as the day is going by, so that by the end of the day you only have a couple of finishing touches to put on your paperwork. This will help you as you get your paperwork turned in. All photos should be progressively uploaded throughout the day. Paperwork and photos need to be uploaded within 4 hours of the final inspection. So make sure that you're doing that. One of the things we encourage our inspectors to do at the end of each day, after you get your signatures and collect your bill of lading and scale tickets, is ask the site to email you these forms so that you can forward the email to us once you receive it. This will help our staff get immediate access to your documents so that we can begin immediately processing your inspection to turn it into our clients. We are required to get it turned in within 24 hours of the date of inspection. That's why we ask our inspectors to upload all of their photos and their documents within 4 hours of the inspection. On behalf of the entire staff of Wolverine Inspections, I want to say how much we appreciate the hard work and dedication of our field staff. Our office staff is there to assist you, and I want to thank you for watching this instructional video.